Hey guys, William Furno here today with an overview of the 2011 Hero Factory sets, Winter 2011 Hero Factory sets. Alright, so first I'm going to start off with the sets you see here. I'm not going to review them because I've already reviewed them, but just to clarify, we have 4 villains: Nitro Blast, Drill Dozer, Jetbug, and Firelord. And we have 6 2.0 heroes: Stormer, Furno, Surge, Breeze, and the new additions of Evo and Nex. Alright, so let's talk about this. What was really big about this wave was not really the amount of sets. It actually had the least amount of sets out of any wave, coming in at only, I believe, 11 sets. There's only 11 sets. There might have been like an accessory pack, but I only got the main 11 sets. Now, what was so significant about these sets was the new building system, which was later titled CCBS, or Creature Character Building System. Now, CCBS is very controversial, and it still is to this day, whether people like it more than the mixed Bionicle sort of building system that they had throughout the years, where the parts were always compatible. And these parts are still compatible with old parts. It's just that they don't fit together as well, or they don't feel like they fit together as well as CCBS to CCBS, or CCBS to just other action figure parts or Technic parts. And that was one of the problems people had with this, is that it was simplified, and that was very noticeable. There was parts that had kind of textured designs on them that make them look a little more complex, but all in all, if at the end of the day, this was definitely a simplified system, not including as many connections that you needed to do to connect armor, or not including, say, pistons or axles going through the pistons, or basically just a lot of construction in one thing. You were kind of laid down with a bone and a piece of armor, and the bone would snap on, a piece of armor would snap onto the bone through one ball joint. Now, since this year, CCBS has been, a lot of complexity has been added to CCBS with the introduction of gearboxes and LEGO finding new ways to connect stuff to the pinholes on the backs of the legs, or, even Firelord was kind of the base of complexity for CCBS. CCBS sets have gotten taller, they have gotten a lot of new armor additions, they've gotten lots of new masks, heads, armor add-ons, just ways to build things, but when this originally started, it was very, very at its bottom level, and LEGO was just learning how to do their own system. Now, I know that sounds weird, you'd think LEGO would know how to use their own system, but like anything, it takes time to get from here to here, and if you don't know, my hand is way higher than it just was a second ago. And so I think this was a good start for a simplified system that kids could grab onto easier than all the parts that we'd been shown from years 2001 to 2010 with Bionicle and the first generation of Hero Factory. This was a good building system. Now, good is not my personal opinion. Good is just, overall, people could grasp onto this pretty easily. The only reason it would be bad is for the fans who really liked to strain their brain looking for ways to connect parts to each other, because it's pretty straightforward. Now again, things have been added on, but when this first started, you were very limited. You had the sets, and with the heroes, it was very easy to combine parts and colors, because they had a wide array of colors already. They had basically the standard colors. You had green, blue, white, red, but then they added in yellow and orange, which weren't very dominant colors seen to this prior. That was kind of a weirdly worded sentence, I'm sorry. Then they added in colors like black and gunmetal and gray, just to add some darker colors in. A little bit of orange in there. And they started to add trans colors into, like, I think this year was just mostly trans orange, trans neon orange. But my point is, you already had kind of a good color palette, you just didn't have all the parts there. And I think this is one of those building systems where it took time to really show what it could be. And I think now with the sets that we've gotten, Bionicle 2016, the Star Wars sets, I think we're truly seeing what can be done. I think General Grievous and Darth Vader, and possibly Umarak the Destroyer, depending on how you look at it, but not really. I think those are good examples of what LEGO has done with CCBS. And one of the best examples I can think of, two of the best examples I can think of actually, are Witch Doctor. Even though it had a lot, an intense amount of red ball joints. It definitely was a very, very dominant set when it comes to Hero Factory. When I've asked a lot of people, what is your favorite set from Hero Factory? They say Witch Doctor, because Witch Doctor was crazy. He was huge. He was giant. And he was a very good example of what LEGO could do with CCBS. But I think the other amazing example is actually not an official set, but a combiner model officially released from LEGO, was the Makuta from the Journey to One in Bionicle 2016. I built that, and let me tell you, it's pretty grand. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty royal-like, and it was made of all new parts, new CCBS parts or Technic parts. I'm just saying in general, newer parts. And they did a great job. They filled in almost every gap. They introduced weapons that could be retracted and detracted using a rubber band. They had weapons that you could spin, and the top of the weapon would spin the opposite direction. They had the gearbox. It was a culmination of basically every good thing CCBS has had, minus the waist turning gear function. That was not included in there, but that's understandable, as I wasn't a huge fan of that. What I'm trying to say is, you like it or you don't, but you can't deny that it was a good building system. It is, I mean, personally, I think it's good. I think it's good for everyone who was young and new to Hero Factory. I don't think you can deny that it did good, right? That's a good way to phrase it. I don't think you can deny that it did good. And I don't mean like it did well, I mean it did good in the future. It may have not been great when it started, but I liked it, and I know a lot of other people did, and I know that a lot of other people appreciated how it evolved over the years. Alright, I just talked for 5 minutes straight about CCBS. What else happened this year? Well, we got a 44-minute episode. I think it might have been 2 episodes, but I'm pretty sure it was just a 44-minute special that was considered 2 episodes. Let me tell you, it wasn't really that great. It was enjoyable to watch when you're a kid. Obviously, it's cool seeing the sets that you own go up against each other, and I can remember I was playing with the sets and bashing them together as I watched it. But, I mean, looking at it from, like, an actual story standpoint, it didn't do much. The Von Nebula story wasn't a part of it. It was just brand new villains, brand new story, but they did add some interesting things. For example, the fire villains could suck energy out of things by shoving their fingers in there. They had outlets sort of in their fingers, and they could just suck energy right out of things, and I thought that was cool. I think it looked pretty cool. But what wasn't really stated was how they really fit in, where they came from. And there was one part of the episode that was really intriguing that wasn't answered, which is like a lot of things in Hero Factory, where Firelord is like tussling with Stormer, and he grabs Stormer by the throat, and he says, "You really don't remember me, Preston?" And I think that's how he worded it, or something like that. And Preston was like, "You say you're from the planet Talos 5? Well, Talos 5 wasn't ever touched upon again. And the origins of the fire villains was never ever touched upon again. And we do not know what the heck the Talos 5 planet was, and whatever the fire villains had to do with it." Other than that, we also had the Hero Factory Recon team. And the Recon team was super cool. It's like you could build your own character online. It was very limited, it was very restricted at what parts you could use and what you could do with it. You had like a choice of 3 names you could choose from. You didn't type in your own name. And LEGO would print out this nice black box with your character on it, with custom instructions and the pieces to your character. And there was actually an exclusive piece in this that I never got, and I'm really sad I never got it. But it was a Hero Factory chest plate like this one, with the Hero Core slot in it, and it was, I think it was gray and black. It was cut in the middle, like the bottom was cut from the top, and it was 2 different colors. I think it was either silver and black or gray and black. It was something like that. And it was really cool. And I remember messing around with it, but I remember, so these guys retailed for about $8, I think $7 or $8. And that was a really good price, because you could like go to the store and maybe pick up 3 at a time, which is kind of what I did. But this, one of these guys was $20. It's understandable because LEGO had to print out a box, a really nice box, by the way. I looked at some reviews of it. A really nice looking box, really nice looking instructions, really nice custom sort of palette for yourself. And it ended up being $20, which is intense for such a small figure. But I think for what it was, I played it, and I thought it was pretty fun. And it was a step up from the other game that they had where you could build your own like Hero Factory 1.0 character. Other than that, I don't think they ever updated the Hero Factory FM, which was basically like a fake radio station you could listen to about Hero Factory. And I don't think they updated it with 2.0 stories, which is a little disappointing, but I mean, it's whatever. I don't really care about it. And then the game, I believe there was a new game, or there's new levels updated. It was basically a point-and-click game where you would point and then the hero would run to that. Now, I kind of forget it because I haven't played it in forever. I think they updated it with the fire villains, but I'm not really positive on that. But if they did, I remember it being fun. I remember the 1.0 one being fun. That's the one I remember, but I'm pretty sure they updated it with the fire villains too. And if they didn't, there is a game I remember, which was, I forget the name of it, but it was like a Chibi Hero Factory game where you had the little guys, and it was a 2D flat screen game where you would run around and collect things and shoot things at the fire villains, which were like little renditions of the fire villains. I remember that game being fun. I remember that to unlock characters you had to buy the sets, and you would enter the code in, which is back here, and you could only enter it in once, which really sucked because I lost my account all the time and I could never actually re-get my characters, which sucked. But basically you'd go to the hero pad, which I remember the hero pad, I can't believe I remember that, enter the code in, and then you'd play the Chibi Hero Factory game, and it was fun. I remember going crazy with it. It was awesome. You know, I think moving on, I don't really have the comic books, but I don't think they really added much to it. I know they were written by Greg himself, but I don't really think they added much. Not that I remember. I think they were just comic book versions of the TV show. Yeah, you know, I think that's about it. I think that's all the promotional stuff or advertising we got for it that year. And, you know, it carries a lot of nostalgia for me. I remember I got into Hero Factory when these sets were coming out, so it was in a really good range where I had the original sets, but these ones were coming out too, and I had no idea, guys, I swear to you, I had no idea what Bionicle had done to people in the past. I was not affected by Bionicle ending at all. I had just known that Bionicle existed, and I was one of those few people that actually exemplifies what LEGO made Hero Factory for, to get younger fans back into a simplified story. That was me. I didn't really get into Bionicle because I walked into the aisle and I was like, wow, everything looks so cool, but I'm not going to get any of it because I don't get any of it. And when Hero Factory came out, I was like, yeah, this is cool, this is new, I like it, I'm going to get it. And keep in mind, I wasn't like how I am now, where I look at every single thing, every single detail, and I criticize down to the bare of it. That wasn't really a good wording choice, but you get what I mean. And I bought Hero Factory and I liked it, alright? I was like 8 years old, don't judge me, alright? I'm a kid, I like Legos, kids like Legos, I buy Legos. And it was Hero Factory. And I remember it was about January when I got my first Hero Factory 2.0 set. And as you can definitely see, it was Furno 2.0, because I think I might have said this in my other review of these guys, but I completely tore the front of the package off, so excited to open him up, because he was my favorite, if you can't tell by now. But, yeah. And I even, like, after I opened it up, I was like, ah, crap, I ruined his package. So I went online and I rewrote all the details on it. It's super stupid. It's funny, though. Anyway, yeah, so Furno 2.0 was my first 2.0 set. And from then on, I just got them all. And it was, yeah, I had a lot of fun, guys. You don't even know. Like, these guys were it for me. Oh, and then the 3.0 leaks came out, and I was all over the leaks. Like, I was like, what the heck are leaks? Oh, but leaks are pictures that are not supposed to be out of the new sets. I was freaking out. Alright, I'm going into territory I need to step back from and go into in the summer. So, I will return in the summer, depending on when this comes out, with Hero Factory Summer 2011 Savage Planet 3.0 classic reviews. And with that, I will see you guys later.